Stepped on the scene, dripped in saline. Whole crew shining, call me Mr. Clean. Came in from the back, walked right to the front. Dancing to the music, smoking on the. Got the women smiling, punk grilling me, looking all dusty. Black Force energy, I don't even drink, but the team pop bottles. Not here for the beef, but the Glock holds hollows. Think I'm cocky, but I think I'm worse. In this flexing like a Mr. Universe.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Frank Martin pulls out a fight with Shakur Stevenson. So this escalated quickly. You know, it started off with reports that the fight was official, and then things changed from there. So take a look at Michael Benson's Twitter, and you can see he's saying that Shakur Stevenson versus Frank Martin is off, as Martin has now U-turned and pulled out when the contract was sent to him after a deal was agreed. Top rank officials have said Shakur versus Edwin De Los Santos is next in line for vacant WBC lightweight world title. So first it was reported that they agreed to the terms, but once the contract was sent, they're saying that Frank Martin pulled out. And as you can see, this is from yesterday. Michael Benson tweeted that. So Shakur Stevenson responded to the report. We're going to take a look at what Shakur had to say right now. And this was Shakur's reaction to the report. Shakur stated, Shakur stated, most duck fighter in the sport of boxing. Edwin, get ready. I'm tired of your BA saying my name. So Edwin De Los Santos has made some comments about wanting to fight Shakur. He's made videos, and this has been gaining some traction. So now Shakur is saying, all right, you want the opportunity so bad, people are ducking me, I'm going to give you the opportunity. Here's a tweet that seemed to capture the entire situation. It said Frank Martin, once an agreement is reached and the contract is sent. And so that's
what you are with this. That ring.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with So I'm gonna turn it over to you, Conspira G. What's your reaction to Frank Martin pulling out of the fight with Shakur Stevenson?
I mean, this is disappointing, man, but I can't blame that kid, man. He didn't want to get beat up. So, you know, you knew Shakur was going to violate him. And to be honest, hey, listen, I expected this from Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? And so Frank probably thought about, like, if Loma don't want to get, violated, why should I get violated? So they was probably just looking at it like, hey, I got a bright career. If I could just stay away from Shakur, I can get more looks, So I do feel like Frank may be an older gentleman, but he's still fairly new, right? So if he gets beat up by Shakur right now, and it's not going to be like a regular loss. It's going to be like a punishment. It's going to be like a one-sided beatdown where it's going to make Frank look like a novice. I don't think it makes sense for a guy at this level of his career to take that risk. I kind of feel like Frank should build up his resume more, get more exposure before he goes on and fights like a guy like a Shakur. And that's only unless Frank is like confident he's going to win. But when you're going to lose, it's like, do I want to risk it with this guy? You know what I mean? If I'm going to risk it, either I got to get a huge bag or there has to be some belts on the line that I could capitalize off of. You know what I mean? But if it's just simply like a vacant belt and, he's most likely going to beat me, I'm not taking the fight. I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'll pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I wouldn't agree to the fight and then pass later because now you look like a ducker. So it's safe to say Frank, you's a ducker just like Lomachenko. You know what I mean? So shame on you for that. But I'm not mad at you because I understand you didn't want to be embarrassed. So you're smart, but you're still cowardly at the same time. But I'm going to give you a pass. I'm going to give you a pass because I understand. I'm telling you that kid from Brick City is a problem. So he's literally the boogeyman of the division. And every time he fights somebody, he makes them look so bad. And it's like all the guys that he done beat up. I'm trying to think, has there been a guy afterwards that he's beat up that we go like, nah, but he's still next up. You know, he just had a little minor setback, but he'll be back. All them dudes is like, we're not even talking about those guys anymore. So
Oscar Valdez still.
you're right. Oscar kind of, you know what I mean? So with the exception of Oscar, so I think Frank is probably like, yeah, he doesn't want to be another unknown commodity that's going to get violated.
Let me just before I throw it to you, $1 Bill, why are you trying to make it seem like this is the same as Vasily Lomachenko, G?
It's the same, bro.
It's not the same.
All of them are ducking. They don't want it with Shakur. They scared. They shook to death. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all gonna say, "Oh, Loma went the easier,"
that's gonna be the unified fight.
Yeah, all right.
G. All right, let me just ask you, like, there are 4 vacant belts now.
Yep.
And you are a fighter, and you have the opportunity to fight for any of the vacant belts based on your status and who you are and where you're ranked by the sanctioning bodies. You have the option of fighting Fighter A, and Fighter A is a monster, absolute beast. There's a good chance you may lose that fight, or you could fight Fighter B, where there's a greater likelihood that you would win the fight and make more money. Which fight are you going to choose?
Hold on. How is B going to make more money?
It's Cambosis. It's Cambozo.
Do it in Australia. You mean to tell me
that that's not more money?
All right, listen. It's a convenient duck. It's just like this is the same argument with the Devin Haney Lomachenko saga, where Lomachenko went an alternative route where people could justify his moves, but in all actuality, he was shook to death. So it's cool if you want to believe he's going to.
Who was shook to death?
Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying?
He ended up fighting Devin Haney, and a lot of people
years later.
But a lot of people think he won. It would have been to his advantage to fight Devin at the time when he fought.
He should have, but he didn't because he shook. Because he was shook. That's the truth.
The whole Lomachenko is shook argument is dead because he fought Devin and it was a split decision L. And most people feel like he won. And we're not talking, just regular people. There's a lot of fighters who feel like he won. A lot of fighters have come out and said it. A lot of the trainers, everyone. It was a close fight. But for you to sit there and say he was shook, he ended up fighting Devin. Same way.
All right, how about this? I'm gonna pull a Caden real quick. I'm just gonna forget my opinion, but just go with the facts. Okay. Lomachenko becomes the WBC champion. A month later, just 1 month after becoming the champion, he gives up the belt because they ordered him to fight Devin Haney. He gives up the belt, and next thing you know, he gets appointed franchise champion out of nowhere. There's no justification for it, but he just gets it. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they're like, hey, he doesn't have to fight Devin anymore to be the undisputed champion, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? And not to mention, he wasn't ranked number 1 or number 2 in the WBC rankings. So when he got to fight for the belt, he got to cut the line. And that's why they gave Devin Haney the mandatory, because they were like, yo, we messed up, Devin. It should have been you versus some other dude. I forgot his name at the moment. But they gave it to Loma versus that dude when it should have been Devin Haney versus homeboy. So they let Lomachenko cut Devin Haney for the opportunity to belt. Devin Haney goes, all right, cool. I'm going to get the opportunity next. Literally only a couple days afterwards, your man said, I don't want this belt no more. Why? Why fight for the belt if once you get it and next thing you know, you don't want to defend it? Come on, son. That's a
okay.
Man.
Now tell the rest of the story. Bro. He ends up fighting Teofimo Lopez for the opportunity to become disputed undisputed. And he loses to Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez is on the same level as Devin Haney, whether you like to admit it or not. Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko more decisively than Devin Haney did, in addition to moving up to 140 and being awesome. So you can't act like he's a punk or he's a coward or he's taking easy fights, because he didn't fight Devin to fight Teo. And Teo was a bigger money fight. And again, in the sport of boxing, it's about money as well, right? At least he's not fighting MMA guys to make money. No, he's taking on tough boxers. And so I think we could have this debate, and we have had this debate several times. You see it as a duck. I saw, and we'll keep it real with you. I saw him fight Tio and lose to Tio. Then I saw him come back and fight Devin and beat Devin. So to me, how can you be scared of someone you beat? And I know that he didn't get the decision, but on my scorecard, he won the fight. So, Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to Frank Martin pulling out of the fight with Shakur Stevenson?
If y'all remember, I said I didn't like the fight. I thought that Frank should be fighting the level of like a Keyshawn Davis, even though I think Keyshawn got a little step ahead of him. You know what I'm saying? As far as certain things. But I never thought that Frank Martin should be fighting Shakur Stevenson. If anybody deserves a shot at Shakur Stevenson for that WBC belt, is William Zepeda. Let's talk about it. If anybody deserves a shot at any of these belts, is William Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? What he got? 28 fights, 25 knockouts. You know what I'm saying? He deserves a shot. But they're gonna do whatever they go. I think everybody is going out for these belts, these vacant belts, is gonna be like easy for the top ones. And then I think that they're gonna probably get together and unify. So I think, Tank will probably win a belt, against Cruz, whoever he's fighting. Somebody else gonna fight for the Ever belt. I think there's a belt already. Somebody got the IBF Ever belt, and then you got Shakur Stevenson fighting for one, and then you're gonna have Loma and them fight for one. Then I could see Top Rank setting up a unified matchup with Loma and Shakur Stevenson. I don't think none of these guys is at this level with these guys. Nobody's ducking nobody. Everybody's picking the right situations for themselves right now, whether it be because everybody's elite and everybody's top right there. So I don't think nobody's ducking anybody. Everybody's trying to put themselves in a position to, this is prize fighting, so they can get some money, you know what I'm saying, and make the right moves. But I don't think nobody is scared of anybody. As far as like you get, especially at this level, you got like Loma and Shakur Stevens, they've been wanting to get it on, but when the time is right, and I think the time is going to be right when they both get a belt and they can unify. That'll be for a unified belt on pay-per-view, and I think that'll happen. The thing with the Loma and the Devin situation, I never considered that a duck because I looked at Teofimo Lopez as a guy had power and who can spark you out and put you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't look at it like, he was not fighting Devin because he was scared to go fight with a guy that could knock him out and get more bread. I just think he was trying to be undisputed, and he was trying to get some bread. And Devin at that time was not bringing in the fans, still not bringing in the fans.
I was gonna say at that time.
And you know what I'm saying? It had nothing. He had nothing to gain. You know what I'm saying? The people already made him super WBC. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing for him to gain for fighting Devin, but he had everything to gain for fighting Teofimo Lopez. So that's why I don't see that that's a duck there. But as far as Shakur Stevenson, yeah, he's talented. He's talented. All these guys, I think the top four guys, if anything, we should be doing is you put Shakur Stevenson in there, Zepeda in there, Tank in there, and Loma. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Can I just ask y'all gentlemen this? Let's just be real. Why can't I roll this? I don't even ask a question yet. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about, dog?
I'm trying to walk with y'all. But hear me out. Why would your man Lomachenko petition to be the franchise champion?
He didn't. He didn't petition. There was something that they had, offered him because, you know what I'm saying, they seen the goal. This is what I can't tell you what these belts be doing, bro. You see how they let a person who ain't fought in 2 years keep a belt. You know how the WBC be rocking.
So, but walk me through. If Lomachenko, I'm just going by what Lomachenko said. He wanted to be the undisputed champion, right? That was his long dream. That's all the time Lomachenko just talking about being undisputed, right? Franchise had nothing to do with undisputed because he was already the WBC champion, right? And we already know unifications trump mandatories. So when he fought Teofimo, he didn't need to be the franchise champion to fight Teofimo. He could have still had a unification match without being franchised. You see what I'm saying? Like, there was no need for franchise unless The only reason why you did it is because you just didn't want to even entertain your mandatories for the WBC. That's why he got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when me calling him a duck, it's no disrespect. If there's a more politically correct term for duck, fine, give that to Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is he avoided a fighter, you know, and that's what he's doing. You know, I'm pretty sure Frank Martin is the same thing. He's gonna find an excuse, but the reality is you avoided Shakur, bro. Like, let's just stop the cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody could find ways to paint the picture of I'm not ducking. My situation was this. But we all know, bro, you was shook to death because you know he was gonna get spanked in the ring. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Frank Martin. Yeah.
Frank Martin, yeah, I can see that for Frank. But Loma, Loma's just a different type of, you know what I'm saying? I see
quack like a duck. You know
I see so many roads and so many avenues. You know what I'm saying?
Quack like a duck. That's
I don't think Frank is ready to be on this stage. I just don't think Frank is ready to be on that stage. And Shakur, Loma, and the Tanks, even Ryan. We can't forget about Ryan, Lil Ryan. We can't forget about Lil Ryan. He's up there too. You know what I'm saying? So he got something to prove, and he got a fight coming up too. So we don't know, but I just
Oscar's trying to get Ryan to fight O'Hara Davies for Rolly's belt because Rolly they're gonna make him champion in recess because he has an injury and he's saying he can't defend. So Oscar's trying to set up that fight for Rolly's.
At 140. At 140, okay. So yeah, you know, so he's off. So at 135, you got some guys. You got what's that? Loma. You got Shakur Stevens. You got Pitbull Cruz. You got Tank. You got William Cepeda, who I'm very high on. And what else you got? You know what I'm saying? But those are the guys right there. Frank Martin and all. But I don't think Frank Martin is ready yet. I think he should be not yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I feel. And he pulled out the fight maybe because somebody told him, "Yay, listen, you don't want to get Earled out there." You don't want to get Earled out there. So
I know, and to Bud Crawford's little brother.
Yeah. Derek James, you're trying out there.
Look, man, G, you always find a way to try to take some shots at Loma, but you just can't land the punches, G. We all don't know that unifications trump mandatories because it's not true. I'll give you an example. If that's the case, right, Usyk would be able to go straight into a fight with Tyson Fury if Tyson Fury was willing to accept. But it's not. In fact, the only way that Usyk would be able to fight Tyson Fury, even if he was willing to fight, he would have to get Flip Hergovich to step aside because that's his mandatory. So unifications don't trump mandatory. Another example is Usyk. When he was mandatory to fight Joshua, he agreed to step aside to let Joshua fight Fury for undisputed. But he had to agree to it. So people say unifications trump mandatories, but that's really not true. It's really not true. What it all boils down to is, will the sanctioning body give you a pass? And the answer really is if it benefits them. That's what it really boils down to, right? And so when you keep bringing up the Vasily Lomachenko thing, your argument died when Devin Haney couldn't outclass Vasily Lomachenko. So let's say that Devin Haney outclassed Vasily when they fought. Everyone would be saying, that's why he ducked Devin. That's why he ducked Devin. But that's not what happened. Devin beat Vasily, and the whole world sees Vasily as the winner. If we want to be real about it, everyone sees Vasily as the uncrowned champion. And I say everyone, not really everyone, but I mean the majority of the people who watch the fight feel like Vasily got robbed. Rightfully or wrongfully, I'm not saying he got robbed, but I do think Vasily won the fight. So you can't make the argument that he ducked Devin because he fought Devin and Devin won by the skin of his teeth. So come on, man. Like that argument is dead. It's dead, bro. Devin, yo.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you gotta go ahead. Go ahead.
That has no relevance to if he was ducking him or not. You know what I'm saying? You can still duck and end up winning the fight later on. That doesn't defeat the purpose of you ducking. You know what I'm saying? He could have just seen Devin as a young kid that's dangerous that I just don't need to fight right now, which that's what happened. I don't need to fight this dude right now. I'm not going to take the fight. And he said, yo, just get me out this fight. What I need to do to get out this fight? Become a franchise champion, then give me franchise. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
That could be the case, right? Or it could be that Devin was a young kid who proved nothing in the sport, so he would have taken that fight and made no money from it, but he had the opportunity to fight Teofimo Lopez, who just sparked out Richard Comey in one of the most exciting knockouts of the year, and he would have inherited another belt that he didn't have, and so he felt like that was the more lucrative fight. That was the fight that was going to give him what he needed, the missing piece that he needed, especially after he was elevated to franchise champion. And that could be why he chose to do it. And I believe that is why. When you say that he ducked him because he was a skilled fighter, Devin failed to show that he's more skilled than Vasily Lomachenko. Fact. No one can argue that because their fight was within a round or two of it being a different result. Devin didn't prove he was levels above Vasily. He proved he was levels above Kambosos twice. But when he fought Vasily, he was in the fight of his life. Your own dude, Devin, went to the corner and said, Dad, he knows everything I'm doing. Bro, that's not levels above, so what?
Y'all have no respect, yo.
Yo, I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. You acting like this dude. You act like you're acting like Devin's some destructor, bro. Devin
I never said that. Never said that.
You act because you are. You're saying Vasily ducked him. But you're not highlighting the fact that Vasily actually fought him when he was older. It would have been to Vasily's advantage to fight him when Devin was younger and inexperienced. Instead, Devin built his profile. Devin went to Australia. He fought Kambosos twice. He became undisputed. So by the time Vasily got the option to fight him again, Vasily was like, wow, now it's worth my while. And Devin was like, oh, it's personal. I owe him. He made me wait, went in there and barely won. So come on, man. Like, stop it, man. This whole Vasily duck Devin thing is dead, bro. Devin needed to outclass Vasily, and then all the people who hold on to that argument could have been like, yeah, see, that's why Vasily ran. Instead, Devin is running a 140 instead of giving Vasily a rematch. So that should tell you everything you need to know.
Did Lomachenko ask for a rematch?
Yes, he asked for a rematch, bro. Are you kidding?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, and even you from your own mouth said Devin got to give him a rematch. Go.
I agree. Actually, he should.
But instead, your man's doing. Who's doing the ducking now? Who's doing the ducking now?
I didn't hear him ask for it. What if?
Yeah,
how about this? Loma?
Devin's doing the race. Devin's doing the race right now.
Rematch,
Devin's doing the race.
Nah.
So your man's the one ducking right now, okay?
Hey,
Loma,
listen,
that's a fact. I mean,
is Bill Haney was just caught on camera talking about Devin Duncan.
Yeah,
like, what they do when he gets
caught. He was caught on camera.
He was caught on camera.
He said he's going to
when he gets hot at 135.
That's an animal, dog.
Yeah.
The animal,
he
dog.
Said every time Shakur moves up, Devin's going to move up. He got caught on camera saying that, bro. So your man is doing the race. Your man is the one doing the race, bro.
Hey,
and you know the fire got hot. The fire got hot because he couldn't beat Vasily. And like Vasily said, they asked Vasily, you think Devin's going to give you a rematch? He said, no. They said, why? He said, because he knows his level now. That's what he said. And that's facts. He won't fight Vasily again. You notice none of these dudes fight Vasily again after they beat him. It's funny because they know. They know. Okay.
Yo, bro, I'm confident. Devin.
Ducked. Yo, what happened?
Lomachenko again.
Yeah, what happened? Let me just ask you a question. You talk about Vasily like he's some chump. All right, cool.
I never said that.
I just want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Didn't give him a rematch. Fought Kambosos. Lost his first fight after fighting Vasily. Ran up. He didn't even want to give Kambosos a rematch. Devin went, beat Kambosos. Fights Vasily. Right? Barely wins. And it's disputed. Right? The undisputed champ is now disputed. Right? And everyone wants to see the rematch. He goes and runs to 140.
I'm gonna tell you something right quick, just to jump in real quick before you finish.
Go ahead, bro.
That right there, I think hurt Devin. That part right there hurt Devin because people thinking that he lost and then didn't run the back and then run to 140, that hurt Devin's stock more than anything, more than any loss would have did. Because people respect the way you lose. You know what I'm saying? Not if you're giving a gimme, because if you remember, I said Devin really needs this 12th round to pull out a draw in my card. You know what I'm saying? So if you really look at it, yo, this is bad. Like, cause like even if him people thinking that he lost that fight and then he ran from the smoke, that's gonna leave a lot of. That's why I don't. And then they're trying to do a pay-per-view. Nah, it's not a good look, man.
I agree with Trill on this. That with Devin, how he left 135 isn't ideal, you know. But however, if the young man has to handle his health, hey, it is what it is.
Is it a duck? Is it a duck?
I don't know. I mean, and the reason why, listen,
would it be a duck if Vasily did it? Would it be a duck? Would it be a duck if Vasily did it?
I'm saying this. I haven't heard Lomachenko ask or demand the rematch.
Yes, he asked for the
rematch. I haven't heard it. If y'all can prove
serious,
then I'll be like, all right,
you know what? Then you've been muting. You muted anything Vasily Lomachenko related.
Yo, man, listen.
That's all good. Trust me, Vasily asked for the rematch. To close this segment
out, if that's the case, and if Haney goes, nah, I don't want it, or I can't, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because all I know is, for one, Haney don't owe him nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because he already been waiting for years, then gave him the opportunity, and he beat him. So it is what it is. But if people are like, you know, the streets is like, nah, it's not over, run it back. I think if I was Haney, I would run it back, you know? So I'm not going to call that a duck yet. But if Haney could make 135 and he chooses not to do it, then that's a duck. You know what I mean? But the dude could physically, he just can't make 135. Bro, he has a legitimate pass, bro. That's a little different. That's the only reason why I'm like, it depends. Because of health reasons. Outside of that.
So why did he take the fight in the first place?
What you mean? He was still at the division. He was in the division at 135.
I understand. But see, here's the thing, G. Like, you got to speak all the facts. But prior to the Vasily Lomachenko fight, Bill Haney is recorded and documented as saying 135 is ours this year. He said that they're staying in 135 for the entire year. Okay. That's what he said. But after the fight, in which Devin was lucky to get the decision, they automatically said that they're moving up. And we talk about in boxing how we're sick of these rematch clauses. We said, let the fight determine whether or not there should be a rematch. We've always said that. If there was ever a fight that deserved a rematch, it was this one. And rather than give Vasily the rematch, Devin is moving up.
But is he moving up because of Lomachenko? Is he moving up because of Shakur?
The fact that you're even willing to give Devin that benefit of the doubt shows that you have some bias. Because I'm going to show you why. When Devin doesn't give Vasily the opportunity, you want to attribute it to certain factors that you think are okay to excuse him not giving Vasily the opportunity. However, when Vasily didn't give Devin the opportunity, you're not receptive to the other factors that could have contributed to Vasily not giving him the opportunity. You automatically think it was a duck, despite all the evidence saying otherwise.
Hold on. That's incorrect, because based off of what you and Trill is saying to me, right, on why Lomachenko avoided Devin, right? Y'all are still defining a duck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just saying it in a more politically correct way. But I'm like, whatever. That's still avoiding Devin Haney. So it's still technically a duck. So I'm like, it's whatever. It's still a duck. I'm just, maybe this duck has a negative
Is
connotation.
Devin avoiding Vasily right now?
I'm going to say no. But the thing is, you have a better argument saying, is he avoiding Shakur? And I'm like, hey, if his father came out and literally said, yo,
why do I don't see? This is what I mean about the bias, right? Yo, bro,
how is it the bias? We have evidence that he's literally ducking Shakur, right? You guys presented the evidence. I'm like, damn, he said that. That sounds like they're ducking Shakur. That's a fact.
This isn't about Shakur. This isn't about Shakur. I'm gonna just go ahead, bro.
Lomachenko Haney number 2 has to happen.
I think it's never happened. Because
But it should happen.
it should, but it's never happened because I think they are scared. But no, I'm not think. I'm sure. He's scared. He understands. He lose a fight. His father understand what happened. He understand you and all people saw what he say after 9 rounds in the corner.
He said he figured me out. He knows what I'm going to do before I'm going to do. Which
Yes.
you do to people. That's what Lomachenko does.
Absolutely, and there are a lot of people talking about 12 rounds, but I lose this round, but I don't need to win this round. I understand. I take this fight. I won a lot of rounds, and I just keep it, and I just I just keep my conditioning, and I just keep my.
Basically, I played that to say what Loma was saying.
I appreciate you, Chill. You know why? Because basically what I heard was a guy that was just explaining why he felt like he got robbed, but he's not explaining why he should have a rematch.
He said
They're not
He said the first thing he said is Devin is scared to give him a rematch.
Nah, he said they're not
give him a
gonna give me
rematch.
That's
a
the
rematch.
first thing he said, G.
They're not gonna give me a rematch, and he's explaining why he felt
He
like
said
he
they
won.
scared. He said
But he's
like
not
he told his
explaining,
father
like,
in the
yo,
ninth round.
Run it
Yo,
back.
Yo,
He's not
this is
saying run
crazy.
it back.
He
He's
spent
saying
way
they're not
more
gonna
time on a Frank Martin topic talking about Devin. The reality is this, G, and your bias is showing.
No, it's not.
Devin ran to 140 after a fight that most of the public doesn't believe he won. That's it. And everyone sees Vasily as the winner, and people are saying that Vasily won. And that makes you disputed, undisputed. That makes people look at you and say, yeah, you got all the belts, but you shouldn't. And the only way to fix that is in a rematch. Floyd Money Mayweather beat Luis Castillo, and people were saying, oh, we think Castillo won. Gave him a rematch.
You ran
Beat
the
him.
rounds.
He beat Marcos Medina. People were saying, oh, some people, crazy people were saying they thought Medina won, so he gave him a rematch. Beat him again, right? That's what you do when you have even Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao.
Timothy didn't have to do it.
Timothy didn't have to do it again. Timothy could have. That's exact. Timothy, no, he did it again. That's just what you do in the sport of boxing. But Devin is now going to move to another weight division after receiving what people think is a gift and not right that wrong.
And many people said that after that fight that they need to do the scoring fights differently just because of that fight happened. A lot of people are talking about changing the way they score boxing. And then they was talking about asking Loma right then and there, do you think that he would give you? He said no. Even listen to what he said to his daddy at the 9th round. You know what I'm saying? And then he went on to say, people were saying, oh, you lost because of the 12th round. He said, no, I was ahead. I had it like 8-4. And I thought that I was cool. Like I didn't want to bruise and hurt the kid. I already thought I was up. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that knows boxing said I was up.
Clearly your man don't know how to add. So that's
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's keep it focused on this one tidbit, and I'll keep it brief with Frank Martin. But here's the deal. Everyone who went into these rematches knew the importance of certain things. Even Hakeem Rahman, Lennox Lewis. Hakeem could have just been like, you know what I mean? But here's the deal. Perception to the public matters. It matters. So Floyd saying, you think he beat me? I can't have that be the last impression that people have of me in this ring. I must redeem myself. I must make it more decisive. I have to beat him easier than I did the first time, right? You have Devin the Dream Haney this young guy who's supposed to be so great fighting Vasily, the old dog, right? And Vasily is in the fight with him, competes with him. Many people think he won, and he doesn't give Vasily a rematch. And you are okay with it because, oh, maybe he can't make the weight. Well, why did he keep fighting at 135? Why? Why did he take the fight with Vasily at 135? And why is it that he was planning on staying at 135 the entire year? It's documented. He was planning on staying at 135 the entire year. And it wasn't until after he barely beat Vasily that he's deciding to move up.
Because we all know the person that's the face of that division was Lomachenko. So even if you are undisputed, you're not really undisputed unless you beat the top dog, which he had to get Lomachenko. Which I'm agree with you on this. If you ask me, I think he should run it back. But I'm giving him that caveat of if he can't for health reasons, I can't blame that young man for having to move up for health reasons. It's like, come on, bro. I'm not gonna make a dude starve himself. You know what I mean? Just to stay in that division. That's kind of
not making him starve himself. He's making himself starve himself.
Well, hey, that's what I'm saying. He fought him. He won. If it's controversial, hey, if he can't run it back, he just can't run it back. Well, how about Lomachenko just move up to 140 then?
Because it wouldn't be for undisputed.
Doesn't matter.
And Lomachenko's already the smaller guy moving up. So now you want Devin to have more advantage? Devin's already a weight bully.
Yo,
we
man,
already know that.
So
it's
that's
already well documented.
All agree then it just is what it is. That's a one-off then. It's just Haney versus
the reality is Devin ducked the rematch. And you could try to say it's for health reasons, and you could try to say it's whatever, but there's no proof that Devin doing that weight cut again would be more detrimental to his body or will cause serious health effects more so than the last few weight cuts have done.
What are you talking about? Like this last 3 times he said he openly talked about how hard it was for him to even make it.
But he still chose to do it.
Yo, man,
he still chose to do it.
You're a funny guy, man.
Well, how am I a funny guy?
He's killing himself for your entertainment, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For my entertainment.
That's for you.
It's not for my entertainment.
I'm okay with him at 140. I'm okay with him at 140.
You're okay with my 140. Here's what I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with fighters, and I called this out with Earl Spence too, and everyone else. I'm not okay with fighters killing themselves to lose 20, 30 pounds to compete at a lower weight division so they can rehydrate on the night of the fight and weigh significantly more than their opponent. So, yeah, you're talking about the weight cut and all this stuff, but what you're not factoring in is on the night of the fight, Devin Haney looked 2 or 3 weight divisions bigger than Vasily Lomachenko. And that's to his advantage. He already has a longer reach. He's already the taller fighter, and he has the size advantage, and he still barely beat Vasily. Okay? Because you want to keep talking about this weight cut. But the reality is he goes through that weight cut because it's to his advantage to compete against a smaller man like Vasily Lomachenko. And if he didn't go through that weight cut, he would have to compete against bigger men, and then it would increase the probability of him losing. So don't sit here and tell me he's doing it for my entertainment. No, he's doing it for his advantage so he can have the athletic advantage, so he can have the competitive advantage. He's doing it to his benefit. And as soon as he loses what he perceives to be the benefit, he wants to go run. You may excuse that. I don't excuse that. He's a duck. Quack, quack.
All right, fine. How about this? I'll agree with you. They're fine.
And you don't have to agree with me. It's a fact.
Haney's a duck too. Haney's a duck too.
It's a fact. We got 2 ducks. Okay. So now we can put the Lomas a ducker in the past because Devin's a ducker too.
Yup, they both duckers.
Right. But so getting back to Frank Martin though,
that's
it's
another
different.
duck.
You can't compare that to Vasily. Frank doesn't have. First of all, Frank's never been a champion. Prior to fighting Devin, Vasily had beat a lot of great fighters. He beat Rigondeaux. He beat the Axeman, Nicholas Walters. He beat Gary Russell Jr. He beat a lot of good fighters prior to facing Devin the Dream Haney. And he's been in the ring with a lot of good fighters. He fought for the title in his second fight. How many people do that? You're talking about Frank Martin pulling out of the fight after he's already had numerous pro fights. After he beat the guy, it was Rivera, and he just came off another fight. So if not now, when? Vasili's never rejected a title fight. Even by your perspective, you're saying Vasily gave up a belt he already had because he didn't want to fight that opponent. He wanted to fight a different opponent that was going to generate more money. In this case, Frank Martin is just strictly giving up the opportunity to win a belt. And where they do that at? I thought everyone gets in the sport of boxing to become champion.
So hold on. So you're agreeing with me then that Frank is a duck?
I said Frank's a duck, but I don't agree with you that Vasily.
Like we agree.
I don't agree with you that Vasily's a duck. That's where we part ways. Frank's a duck. Vasily's not a duck, right? So for me,
tomato, tomato. You know what I'm saying?
Anyways, yeah, Frank's a duck.
Frank's not a duck. He's just sure of himself. He just know where he's
not a duck.
Yeah, he ain't a duck. He's a geese. He
Then
know
you know what, by G's logic, Frank. By G's logic, you're not a duck. Just say it's hard for you to make the weight and move up to 140 and say you had to move up for medical reasons. I'm done, Troy. Let's end this segment.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Yo, y'all gonna go crazy on G with the Loma. But let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. G don't mean no harm. You know what I'm saying?
I want all the smoke.
It's the Boxing Bros. Thank you for rocking with us.
I feel it in my soul. Can you feel me? My money right. Came so cold in my cell, all them lonely nights. Stay 10 toes. Dirty nights and them fish